let's talk about this subject that that I've brought up here a few times, but we've never actually had it officially recorded in the podcast room. So I want to talk about, it's the simplest title. It'll probably be the title of this particular video is going to be The State of DC. And I don't mean Washington, D.C., because then we're running into the political realm, and I don't want to get into that. We are talking about DC, the movie universe.
Detective Comics.
Yes, Detective Comics, the movie universe, and the television universe.
Okay.
So I want to wind you back here, okay? Let's talk about, and when I mention DC movies, unfortunately, we're cutting out a lot of movies. Now, what we are referring to is the DCEU, which is really the unofficial name.
Correct.
But this is the one we're most familiar with. The movies that unfortunately did not make the cut into this conversation are all of the original Superman movies, Christopher Reeve Superman movies, the Tim Burton Batman movies, and then unfortunately the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy is not making the cut into this.
Correct.
Which, by the way, side note, I think they're just a little overrated. Just my opinion. I think those movies are slightly overrated, but we won't get into that here. So what I want to discuss is the current DCU. As of 2013, we have 7 released DC movies. So this DC universe started out with Man of Steel 2013. And best way to sum that up, an okay movie. I mean, I saw it at least one time straight through. And my feelings were that of like when I saw, I'm trying to think of a good example, like Captain America, the First Avenger.
Okay.
Good movie, not a great movie. Didn't blow my mind, but like served a purpose. That's kind of my feelings with Man of Steel. It was like a good peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Wasn't spectacular. Wasn't a Subway sandwich.
You got a guy who plays Superman that was actually built
as Superman. I will say this, casting wise, and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, but I will say casting wise, I think DC has been just fine with who they've picked. But Morton has a sour look on his face, so he may disagree with me on this one.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and say this, that I'm probably, out of the three of us, one with the most knowledge when it comes to the DC.
Yes.
And also, I'm the biggest Superman fan in the room.
Uh-huh.
With that being said, I didn't mind that Henry Cavill was cast as Clark Kent or Superman. But in the mythology of Superman, in all the comics that I've known, he's only ever killed twice. He goes out of his way not to kill. He would not kill Zod.
All right.
He would not do that. So I had issues with that. I did like the storyline of it being a bit of more of a darker tone. Yeah. I didn't mind that. That was pretty good.
Okay. So, and I'm with you on that one. Superman, for some reason, the DC characters really have issues with killing people, and that really shouldn't be an issue, but unfortunately, that's what it is. I will say that this is kind of, you also got to remember, this is Zack Snyder at the helm of this DC movie. So I think somebody was bound to die. So that aside, Man of Steel comes out 2013, okay movie. I'm totally okay with that. Here's the problem. I'm going to wind back the clock a few years with the 2008 release of Iron Man. So Marvel comes out of the gate with their big movie. Now, keep in mind, they don't have all their characters at this point. They only have a handful of characters. They come out with Iron Man.
Okay.
They followed up with the Incredible Hulk. They followed that up with Captain America. They followed that up with Iron Man 2. Then they followed up with Thor, and then they come out with Captain America.
Correct.
And then we run into 2012 where we hit the Avengers. Now, that's the key. And this is, in my opinion, this was the turning point right here.
You also forgot Thor.
I thought I said Thor.
Okay.
Okay, if I missed Thor, I'm sorry. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 movies, and we jump into Marvel's Avengers. Marvel's Avengers comes out May 4th, 2012. It's not like I'm looking at this on a webpage. I really just know that date on the top of my head. It's not like it's just right in front of me and I'm looking at it. It comes out in 2012. Breaks box office records. It's this amazing mashup movie with all these superheroes that we've seen in previous movies, and it has the first appearance of Hawkeye, which is a big reason why it broke so many records. But I don't want to get into that here, guys.
Is it really the first appearance of Hawkeye, though?
Here we go. Don't start the hate. So,
because Thor was technically the first appearance of Hawkeye.
That's a good point. I guess you're right. So Kareem totally screwed up my my Facebook Live, but we're soldiering on. It's that one, and then right in the middle. There we go. All right, we're still here.
We're live, guys.
All right. We'll have to edit that part out. So it gets released, Marvel's The Avengers, and here's the problem. DC has their Superman character. Boom. Okay. They have it set. And if they would have just followed a nice, simple formula of saying, okay, Next comes, let's introduce Batman. That's an important character to have. After that, let's introduce Wonder Woman. That's the third most important DC character to have. And then maybe at that point, then we can start talking about mashups. I mean, you got your big three. Maybe you can start talking about a mashup. Here's the problem. DC, in my opinion, made the mistake of trying to catch up with Marvel way before they were prepared to catch up with Marvel. And that's unfortunately where we got Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice 2016. One, that's a 3-year gap between your movies. So Man of Steel comes out in 2013, and then Batman v Superman comes out. I, for one, hated Batman v Superman. I don't know if you knew that, Morton. Or maybe you tell me, what did you feel about Batman v Superman? Maybe I'm totally wrong on this one.
Well, Rocket, is that with the theater release, I did not like the version that came out in theaters, but they did release an Ultimate Edition, which was pretty good. It was about 30 minutes longer, but they went into more detail on it.
That's exactly what I want. I want to see a bad movie, but I want to see 30 more minutes of a bad movie.
Well,
that's good to have.
They had alternate scenes in it. They had different characters in it. You met Jimmy Olsen, who ended up being a spy who got killed, which was never in the movie, in the theater cut version. I think, in my opinion, that the Ultimate Cut was a much better one than what was given credit for what came out in the theaters.
Worth, did you see Batman v Superman?
Great movie.
Oh boy,
We have totally different opinions on this movie. Do you not see when Superman stood on top of the Batmobile, ripped the top off, looked at him, and basically told him without saying, "I could kill you now, but I'm going to let you live.
So,
And I'm going to let you go in your bat cave and develop some more weapons to come try to fight me, and you would be defeated twice."
So here's the thing. Worthy grabs these scenes from trailers, and it makes it like that's going to encompass the whole movie.
It was in the movie.
Okay, so apparently this movie's a little bit more polarizing than I gave it credit for.
I think you put too much thought into it.
Maybe, but I mean that's what I'm about here. Okay, these are superhero movies. We're supposed to overthink these things. So it was a critical failure, commercial success, I believe. Maybe, I don't know. They spent so much money on it, but critical, mess. Obviously, it wasn't well received. So what do you follow up with? Literally the same year, I think 6 months apart from one another.
Close to that.
You followed up with the stellar Suicide Squad.
Oh.
So, needless to say, 2016 was not a fun year for DC, but this is literally a follow-up to a movie that allegedly was polarizing. The fans allegedly liked it. Critics hated it. And then you followed up with a Suicide Squad movie that I think universally everybody hates, with the exception of maybe one person in this room right now. So, this is where I'm getting with this. This was DC now kind of tripping over themselves. They had good properties, they had good characters, but the output was too much, it was too fast, and it didn't work.
I agree with what you said earlier about how Marvel invested time that they came out with 4 or 5 movies and then they made the team-up movie. I agree with you. I think that it should have been a Superman movie. There should have been a Batman. Yeah, I would have even released Aquaman before the Justice League, and I would have teamed up with probably Wonder Woman as well. I would have released those 4, and then with those 4, I would have released the Justice League movie. Because I wouldn't mind introducing Flash or Cyborg in the Justice League.
It's like, and what the problem was, like, Batman v Superman comes out, and it's like the director's like, okay, so we got to have Batman. Let's put our Batman in. No, everybody knows Batman. Let's put Batman in there. Okay, good. What's Gal Gadot doing? Yes, let's get Wonder Woman in there, too. We'll throw her in at the end. It's fine. She can help do Abomination. Yes, we're going to have Abomination. Hey, I need cameos. So let's get cameos out there. I want to get Momoa and who's that? The kid that plays the Flash, and then the other guy that plays the robot person. Let's get them all in there because
it's not Abomination. It's Doomsday.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. Abomination was Incredible Hulk character. Wow, I'm glad you caught me on that one. Doomsday. Yeah, let's throw him in there. Even though he's like the most iconic Superman villain of all time, let's just kill him in like 5 minutes. That's cool. That works. So it's like, I feel like, why in the world did they take... They had to have been under some constraints that they had to get this out thinking that they had to compete with Marvel.
Correct.
And this is what I'm getting at. I think the current state of DC is no longer trying to compete with Marvel. And I think that's
they can.
And that's exactly right. I don't think they have the ability to, despite the fact that they own all their characters, despite the fact that they got the backing with Warner Brothers, I don't think creatively they can compete with Marvel. So I like the direction they're going now. And I'm actually going to say nice, positive things about DC because after Justice League comes out, which, I mean, that's I won't get into that, but that's another Man of Steel level, like...
Well, the problem with Justice League, there was a vision for it being close to 2.5 hours. The executives, after the blunder that happened with Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, that they got told they have to keep it under 2 hours. So the movie ends up being 1 hour, 59 minutes, and like 56 seconds long.
Right.
Because they got told to keep it under 2 hours.
So among other things, obviously the directors' issues. And you can definitely, here's the problem, and if you go back and watch it, which, I mean, I don't know why you would, but if you ever go back and watch Justice League, you can absolutely tell where things were seamed in. You could tell where Whedon threw a joke in there and Snyder did something else. Like, it's really obvious, and you don't even have to know the directors all that well to see it.
And mustaches.
Yes, and Mustache Gate. I don't even want to get into Mustache Gate. As a man with a very distinguished mustache like myself, I don't even want to get into Mustache Gate.
He used to have a distinguished mustache.
So we follow up Justice League, and we go into Aquaman. Now, we all got together and we saw Aquaman. That was a Thursday night showing for us. And I said, slightly too long. That was my biggest complaint with it. Just, it did not need to be the 6.5 hour movie that it was. But overall, good movie. I didn't have any problems with it, man. I thought it was awesome. I thought Momoa fit perfectly. I think if you would have cut out about 30 minutes of that movie, you got it. It was a big financial success for DC.
Over $1 billion.
$1 billion movie. It was a good character for DC.
First time.
It was a good building block for them. And so they follow that back up. So after Aquaman, we had Shazam this year. Now, you guys have seen Shazam. I have not seen Shazam. I still have not seen Shazam. So that's on me. I'm sorry. That's on me.
I think it comes out digitally there in July or August.
I might have to pick that up. Worth, you saw Shazam. You're probably the one that most recently saw it. What were your impressions of it? What did you think as far as a DC movie?
I just recently seen it again digitally.
Nice.
And like I said, man, we said before, fun movie. They didn't try too hard on it. They just had fun making it, man. It's just it's a great movie, man. It definitely trumps Suicide Squad, in my opinion. But
what? That's shocking.
Which is a great movie, critically acclaimed. But Shazam was pretty good, pretty fun. I wasn't too familiar with the character, but after watching it and getting an idea who he was and everything, I enjoyed it.
Morton, you said that it was self-aware. It didn't take itself too serious.
Yes.
See, I like that aspect of it because I think that was one of the biggest, among a lot of things, but that was a big struggle with Batman v Superman. It was so dark and trying to be so serious, and it left very, very little room for humor. And I think Shazam had a very good balance with that. So, and good casting too. What was it? Zach Levi was.
Yes, Zachary Levi.
Yeah, Zachary Levi. And you said Mark Strong was the main.
Was the main villain, which to me I think is a little bit of redemption from the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern.
Right. So no, that's
him being Sinestro.
So let's talk about future DC movies now. So now they've got 2 movies now that have been solid. They've been critical successes to a degree, and they have also been financial successes. So that's very uncommon with DC movies. They've now taken the time. They've done these movies. They don't fire them out as fast as Marvel, but they take the time to release them and not just try to rush them to compete. I think that's the best move they've made, is trying to stay away from trying to be Marvel and kind of chart their own path. That's the best thing that DC could have done.
Didn't Aquaman get pushed back?
Oh, yeah.
The release date?
It did, yeah. Because it was supposed to, I don't know if that was supposed to be a summer movie at one point, but it got shoved to the very, very end of the year, 2018. I think they tried to get as far away from Infinity War as possible, which was a very good decision.
Yeah.
Because the hangover from Infinity War lasted a while. So, that was a solid decision. And also, I will say this, compliment DC on this. They have their slated movies, to a degree, played out for the next 3-4 years. I think that's a great thing because as of right now, and I'm not knocking Marvel because actually Marvel released their phase 3 and their phase 2 like at big showcases. So they make you aware of the movies. But as of right now, where we sit, we don't know future Marvel movies beyond Spider-Man Far From Home.
Correct.
Oh, there's a Lobo movie coming out.
Played by Mimosa.
There's a Lobo TV series coming out.
I forgot about the TV. We have to get to the TV. So future movies, we've got in 2020 next year, we have Birds of Prey, and Morton seems just wildly uninterested in this movie. And I kind of am too. I feel like it's got too many shades of Suicide Squad on it, so I'm kind of about it.
Yeah.
I could be changed. We haven't really seen anything from it. We've seen like a half of a teaser trailer, which just kind of showed the characters. So it really wasn't much of anything. So we'll have to see a little bit more on that. We got Wonder Woman 1984, with literally all we've gotten from that is just a teaser poster.
Correct.
Of her and her armor and the funky colors.
That's all I need.
I know Morton wants to talk about this one. We've got the Batman. We can make a whole freaking podcast on this one.
The
right
Batman?
Here. So we got the Batman. Oh, the knuckles are cracking. Look out, folks. All right, here we go. We got the Batman. The biggest news coming out from the Batman, and obviously this is old news now, but we wanted to discuss it because we haven't been in a room to talk about it yet, is, Morton, remind me.
Twilight. They got Edward from Twilight, Robert Patterson from Twilight, to play Batman Bruce Wayne. Have they lost their minds?
Well, he's got fangs. He should fit in right.
He's slightly closer to a bat, Morton. It's a great casting decision. What are you talking about?
The best thing this actor ever did was die in Harry Potter.
Oh, my God. Ooh, bringing up his Harry Potter past. You're brutal, Morton. Dang. I need you. So here's the thing.
I didn't even know he was in it.
I'm going to get Robert Pattinson on the phone, and you two are going to hash it out, okay? And y'all are going to come to some common ground, because you are...
Slap him with a glove, take 10 steps, and pull the trigger?
You can't do that over the phone, Morton. All right. So
would you rather him or Dolph Lundgren?
I'll pass on issues with Dolph Lundgren.
How did he get in this conversation, first of all? Who brought up Dolph Lundgren?
And let me take a minute to explain why I'm disappointed with this cast choice.
Go ahead.
You could have gone with an unknown. You could have gone with somebody that had talent. You could have gone with somebody that was relatively new to the industry. The thing is, Batman's a bulk guy. Batman is a beefed up dude. I mean, you look at Ben Affleck, he had the body type. Michael Keaton, he was willing to get in shape. Same thing for Christopher Nolan. I'm not counting Adam West because that's just 66 Batman.
Oh, no.
But when you look at Robert Patterson, he may be a $150, $180. He doesn't have the body type to be physique for Batman. Now, if it was Batman Beyond,
or Batman and Robin, he could have been Robin.
I'll even say George Clooney and Val Kilmer had the type to be Batman.
All right.
He doesn't have the body type for it. It's not that I don't think this guy is a good Batman, because he's not. But I just think that there could have been so much better choices.
Let me ask you, is that your only gripe, is just his physique, his body type? Is that really like the biggest thing? There might be other things, but is that the biggest one, is just you just don't think he physically fits the persona of Batman?
And the other movies that I've seen him in, he's portrayed the same type of character.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to have Mini-Me play Thor.
I think he's dead. That's very true. I think he died.
You get the concept, what I'm trying to say. We're not gonna,
So here's the thing. This is nothing new. Casting Batman in the various Batman movies that have been released, I think with the exception of Christian Bale, most of them have been controversial at best. For some reason, the fan base for Batman is never satisfied.
Christian Bale was controversial. I remember that.
So the fan base for Batman is never satisfied. That's why I'm not surprised by this. When it got confirmed, when Matt Reeves, that's the director of Batman, when he confirmed it, I knew there was going to be backlash, because that's all there ever is with Batman fans. They just never are satisfied, even when they go and they knock it out of the park, like Keaton did, like Bale did. Like, you can't win them over.
Affleck was a good Batman. I don't know why. I mean, I get the backstage politics behind it, but Affleck was a good Batman in my opinion.
Me too. I like him.
I think it was fine. It's so hard with Batman too, because not only do you got to play Batman, you got to play Bruce Wayne, and those are almost two separate characters.
Like
they're very
Superman.
Yes, they're very different identities. So that's also hard. You got to find an actor to balance both of them. So it's not an easy decision. I'm gonna give Robert Pattinson the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna give him a chance. Are you serious? Is that on there? Oh, that's the James Gunn reboot. Okay, sorry, we're looking at the lineup. So same year, 2021, allegedly, is going to be James Gunn's reboot, soft reboot. I don't know what kind of boot it is. They're going to boot something. I'm going to tell you that. Well, hold on, because it's got some people returning.
Here we go with a reboot.
It's got to be.
Give us a minute.
It's got to be like a yeah. Here, well,
Sequel.
It's a sequel. Okay. All right, so this is a sequel. Not everybody is coming back. I know I'm going to be terrible with these names. Benicio del Toro. Oh, he's in talks. All right, well, to play the villain. All right. Sorry, we're literally pulling all this information off of Wikipedia. So anybody could have just put that right there. So I'm not buying it. But okay, so this is more defined as a sequel. But this is also James Gunn's vision of Suicide Squad. Who directed the first Suicide Squad? I'll put you on the spot there, Morton.
I do not know.
So you're going to look it up super fast?
Yes, I am.
I bet you I can think of it before you do it. Hold on. Who did it? Man, I keep thinking Scott Derrickson, but that was the director of Doctor Strange. So, hold on. He's going to pull it up right now.
Film Suicide Squad. It was directed
David
by
Ayers.
David Ayers.
Directed by David Ayers. Okay, so this is going to be James Gunn vision. I like it. I think Suicide Squad, the concept of it is good. I like the characters. I think they're fine. I don't like what Ayers did with it. So I'm willing to give James Gunn a chance. James Gunn literally took people that no one have ever heard of with Guardians of the Galaxy and made them $1 billion franchise. So I'm totally okay with that. So I think he's going to do a great job. What else do we have land? So everything else is kind of Aquaman 2. Okay.
The Flash.
The Flash, which is just a year and has like about 16 different writers and
I'm not even
92 different producers.
Thrilled about that. I could care less about the Flash at this point in time.
I could care less about a Flash individual movie. That's that's kind of what I'm not interested in. I'm okay with him on the team. I'm not okay seeing it's like you see enough of that on the TV show. I'm not that interested in a solo movie with him. I could be wrong though. So.
Yeah, then you have Aquaman 2.
Aquaman 2 slated for 2022. My goodness, that's a while away. They're really going to plan that one out.
And then the final one for the filmatic universe is Black Adam.
Black Adam, which I have a personal bet with Morton is that movie will never see the light of day. I'm calling that. If it does, it's great, but I'm also calling right now, we will not be seeing that movie. At least not the way they're describing it now with The Rock as Black Adam and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's just me. We've literally known nothing about that movie, so it's not really worth anything talking. Oh my gosh, look at all the in developments. So we got Lobo. I think Worth talked about that.
And there's going to be a TV series on Lobo.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's a spinoff from Krypton.
Okay. Yep. DC does their spinoffs. We got Justice League Dark. We got Cyborg, Justice League sequel, which is a terrible idea. Shouldn't do that. Green Lantern Corps. I mean, just a Green Lantern movie. I'm okay with that. Man of Steel sequel, which will never happen. Booster Gold. I don't even know if that's a real movie. Gotham City Sirens, sure. That's with the girls. Deadshot, he'll never get a movie. Nightwing, he'll never get a movie. Batgirl, she's got a TV.
At this point, people are just posting random characters.
Come on, they got Plastic Man on there. There's not going to be a Plastic Man movie. I'm sorry. DC, no. You can't get a freaking Superman movie right. You're not going to do a Plastic Man movie.
His villain is Paperman.
Blue Beetle. Y'all know about the
Joker film.
A Joker film. One of like 13 Joker films that's going to be happening in the next 5 years. Strap in for some Joker films, people. We're going to get the Joaquin. I don't know how to say him. Joaquin Phoenix. I can never know how to say his name right.
I don't know if that's going to be part of the DCU or not.
I don't know. It wasn't in the list, so I don't think it is. I think it's like a standalone, kind of doing their own thing, kind of. So, hey, more power to it. Get away from DC. It's a little toxic.
The Trench.
The Trench. Big fan of The Trench. You guys know about what The Trench is?
A horror film off the spinoff of Aquaman, focusing on the Trench Kingdom.
Yes. Big fan of the Trench Kingdom, guys. It's a great place. You got to stay there. They got a great Airbnb there. Mm-hmm. All right. So there's about like 92 movies in development for DC. I think like 6 of them are going to get made. So I don't know. It's almost like somebody from Warner Brothers, like casually talks to somebody at the water cooler and says, "Hey man, we should make a Trench movie." And then somebody hears that and sticks that on Wikipedia. So
new Trench movie coming out. I overheard the producers, directors talking about it.
Confirmed, 2032, we'll get our Trench movie after our 5th Aquaman movie. So, man, this is kind of your department here, Morton. I know we're minutes in, but I want to hear it from you. So there is a very healthy universe of DC on television. I don't personally watch it, or on the various streaming platforms. What is currently going on right now? That's what I'm kind of worried. Like, is there still an Arrow universe? Like, is Green Arrow still a TV show?
Okay, Green Arrow is in its last season. Okay. There'll be, I think, 8 episodes, and then it'll wrap up. Okay. Flash will be coming back next year. Supergirl will be coming back next year. And when I say next year, August, September.
Right.
Same thing.
It's still current. It's still going on.
Right.
Okay, cool.
So, but Arrow will be wrapping up at the end of this year.
How many seasons was that on?
This will be its 8th season.
Holy crap. 8 seasons? Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow, I've never seen one episode of Arrow. Just throwing that out there, everybody. Looks great. Looks awesome, but never seen it. Sorry. I feel like I would be cheating on Hawkeye if I saw a Green Arrow TV show. So I'm sorry. I can't do that to my guy. So.
All right. They also have the DC Online universe, I guess is the best way to call it.
Okay. Where, all the streaming services ones? Okay.
Yeah, so streaming services. Now, there they have different shows on there. They've got Swamp Thing, which was canceled after 1 episode.
Yes. No, I hear that. So
and then after that, you have Doom Patrol. And then you also have Let's see. Titans, which is coming back for a second season. I really encourage y'all to watch Titans.
Titans? Okay.
Yes, Titans is a good one.
That
Is it
got
like
a lot
Teen
of.
Titans type of thing.
Yeah.
It's just, and you know what? And Teen Titans is a very passionate fan base. They love Teen Titans. And I remember the first promotional released photos of Starfire got a lot of heat because it looked really bad. But then when the show comes out, it's actually pretty well received, doing justice to Teen Titans as a whole. So, no, I don't have a strong interest in that, but I do. I guess I will take your word for it and take a listen to it. My gauntlet fell down.
All right. And then the other one, which came back, was Young Justice.
Okay.
It used to be on the Cartoon Network. It was canceled after 2 seasons. Netflix brought it back for an additional season, or was in the process of bringing it back, but then it got picked up by the DCU.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Teen Titans cartoon.
I like the Teen Titans.
I watch it all the time. I ain't gonna lie.
Solid. No, I like it. I think it's good.
But this
it's
version
funny.
of Titans, kids should not watch. Language, violence, gratuitous sex, gratuitous violence.
No,
That sounds great.
and you know what? That's something DC leans more towards that Marvel would never go towards. Is they do a lot more darker things and R-rated things, especially with their TV shows. So, I mean, there's a niche for that. If people want to watch things like that, I mean, they have that offering. So, more power to them, man. I guess. So you would say that the DC television universe is healthy and strong moving forward. What about Black Lightning? I thought that was another one, wasn't it?
Yes, that's another one.
Okay.
That one I don't know about because I don't watch that one.
Right. I think that one was okay critically when it came out, so I think it's enough to put on a few more seasons. But no, I think their TV universe is pretty solid right now. So
Yeah.
it's more than I can say about Marvel. But then again, we have not seen the Disney Plus television show, so that might blow them out of the water. But we'll see. But hey, good on DC. They're getting better in the movie universe, doing solid in the TV universe. We might actually be able to enjoy not just Marvel movies, guys. We enjoy some DC movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you.